welcome back to the Experience Podcast. It's just me this week. We're on part 2 of Peter's third episode, Education Rant, number 36. I apologized in the first one that I thought this was... I guess it wasn't really an apology. You know what? I don't need an apology. I acknowledged in the first part of this that it's not Peter's first... I thought it was Peter's first episode. Not even close. It's his third one. We're doing Education Rant. The audio levels, still weird. For some reason, OBS really screws up my audio levels. So I adjusted it a little bit again, and hopefully it'll be good this time. So we'll see. We're right around 15 minutes in to the episode. So we're going to kind of get right into it here. I'm trying to think of anything else off the top that I want to talk about. We got that. No, okay. Yeah, we're going to do this. So... Yeah, so I'll just give you a little recap. We were talking about the Georgia Tech women's basketball coach that was let go way back in the day, in 2019. So yeah, let's get into it.
Gender is there's levels of scrutiny for legal cases, and I think it's a loose scrutiny one, and so you need a legitimate government interest, and that needs to be closely related to gender in order to discriminate. I'm not sure if that applies here, but I know that applies for like constitutional questions. Mm-hmm. What are the salaries?
I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find it?
No. Yeah. I couldn't find her name on there.
So you know the website?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can try to look it up, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
No, I know her name, but I couldn't find her name.
Really? Sorry, now I'm going to be looking up, let's see, Georgia.
Open Georgia. Anyway, while Peter's pulling that up, we'll talk about, okay, let's talk about this. So I have a bin of cookies here.
Oh, I want a cookie.
You can have a cookie.
But then I'm going to be eating while the podcast is going.
That's fine, we've done that so many times.
What's your last name?
Joseph. So anyway, this was full of cookies. There were maybe 20 or so in there. And then we ate some, but I seem to be missing like 5 cookies. I remember there were more in there. I don't know where they went.
What's your first name?
Michelle, with it like Michelle, M-A. Can't find her, right? I think Georgia Tech deleted her from all records, but we can look up.
I doubt that.
We can look up past her. I'll do that.
I might be looking in the wrong area.
So you should just be looking for salaries. You gotta get through that.
Yeah, Josh Pastner is on there. So he makes... Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, he should...
Whoa! Are you kidding me?
No, we're not.
He makes $1.8 million to coach...
To
a losing basketball
team. Such a very losing basketball team.
Are you kidding me? And the man can't even buy suits that fit right.
He's got... No basketball coach has ever worn a suit that fits properly. Have you ever seen... if you've gone to any of the games, to any... Okay, let's see if I can find her on all coaches.
Maybe we're spelling your last name wrong?
Yeah, I'm going to all coaches. I have to remember my alphabet. See that Connor's on here. He's very good at letters. Oh, do you want to go to... let's see. Okay, I got her. We were spelling it right. I don't know why. She makes... Yeah, so he makes 1.8. You can guess how much she makes. And we'll
450K?
We'll put this to our listeners as well. That's so you're low.
Okay.
She makes a good amount, but comparatively, she
800K?
She makes 687.
687.
Now, how many years has she been here?
She's been here like 10.
She's been here 13, I believe.
And Pastner's been
She's the winningest women's basketball coach at Georgia Tech ever, with 310 wins. She's been to the postseason pretty much.
I can't believe Pastner makes $1.8 million.
She's been to the postseason, whether it's the NIT or the NCAA tournament, pretty much every season. She hasn't been to the NCAA tournament since the 2013-2014 season.
What do you do with $1.8 million a year?
That's like nothing compared to a lot of other.
I know. I
other
just don't
people.
understand like rich people in general. To be 100% honest,
What do you do with your money?
like at a certain point, I'd say like
He gives out Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
120K
games.
per year is
enough.
about where I max out. Understanding
You could do
what to do with
200.
my money.
200 is enough because you can get a car or whatever.
Yeah, but what?
300 even. You could see that.
No. I buy.
Well, you're saving. A lot of that goes to saving.
For what? Saving for what?
For
at that
retirement.
point?
Because at that point, you don't have to retire when you're 98. You can retire when you're 95.
Pausing here. For our listeners, Peter works in public policy. He studied public policy at Georgia Tech. So he does. I'm just making fun of Peter now. But just like, yeah, he's a grinder. You know, but he has a point. Yeah. There is this sort of like cliff. It's like, what are you gonna do with your money? I mean, I guess it's like past me was saying, it's saving it, or but like at some point, yeah, it's like, what do you need for that? I don't know. Well, okay, let's keep going. Sorry, I'm just saying words now, making sure that the audio's good. Okay, let's keep going.
Like even with putting aside a large portion of that towards retirement, I just feel like it's too much money.
But even so, he probably lives a similar life that you do on a day-to-day basis.
Passner
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. Think about what you did. What did you do yesterday?
I worked.
Okay, that's a bad example. Like a weekend. What are you planning on doing tomorrow? You get up?
I'll just explain what I did today.
Okay. Well, you're only halfway through the day and you're doing the podcast too, but that's fine. Yeah,
Right.
Go ahead.
So I woke up,
Okay.
went on Reddit for an hour,
Okay.
fell asleep for an hour,
Mm-hmm.
got out of bed around 10.
Very productive, yes.
Right? Well, I don't have any work to do on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Delia's chicken and subs, or not chicken sausage.
It's chicken sauce, yeah.
It's delicious.
How is it? We haven't been there.
It's fantastic.
Maybe we'll go.
I get that El Camino bowl.
It looks like it's in a very sketchy place.
What?
Like that area is kind of
No!
late at night, yes.
Oh my god, Daniel.
Yes.
If you haven't been on the west side of Texas,
Pausing here for a second. That area is okay. Look, Peter's wrong on this one. That area is totally sketchy at night. During the day, it's fine, but at night, it's pretty sketchy. There's like no lighting, and like half the buildings are abandoned. Okay, I mean, come on. He's. I think he's not being fair with that one. Okay, okay. Well, back into it.
back in a while, because it's just it's recently gotten a lot better.
Yes.
So if you haven't been there in a while,
No, I've been there. I go there all the time.
right? Like it's. Daniel has not been to sketchy areas of Atlanta.
I have
Just
been
put
to
that
sketchy
out
areas
there.
of Atlanta. I've totally been to sketchy areas of Atlanta.
And you consider that a sketchy area?
It's not as sketchy.
No, all right. Let's come on.
Why don't I walk down like a literal dark alley and like a dark street?
It's got a lot of construction going on.
There's a lot of which probably is better for it.
It is a booming neighborhood. It is.
They've been doing a lot of renovations of all that whole
I
area.
would not consider it a nice area of Atlanta, but I also would not consider it sketchy.
Late at night.
Late at night. Okay, so this is what I talk about Atlanta. Atlanta, everybody has cars, even the criminals.
Mm-hmm.
At night, be on edge anywhere. I mean, the most amount of crimes.
We're pausing it there. That's a great Peter quote. Everyone has cars, even the criminals. Put that on a T-shirt. We're gonna make an Experience Podcast T-shirt with that line. I like how we just blew past that. Maybe I'll come back to it in a second, but that was good. Okay, back into it.
Happen in Buckhead.
Yeah.
Like, Buckhead is one of the most crime-ridden districts in Atlanta, and it's also the nicest and bougiest. It's because the criminals have cars and they want to steal nice, bougie things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no getting around that. Like, people ask. I went to Georgia State last year, and they're like, "Oh, it's such a bad area." And
Yeah.
I'm like, if you stay in, if you don't go outside at 2 a.m. alone, you're fine.
Even if you go outside at 2 a.m. alone, you're probably fine.
Right, you're gonna no. It's not like a 100% chance. It's just you're risking it a
not
bit
like-
more
Yes.
if you go out at 2 a.m. Like you get updates on the crimes that did happen in the area, and that happened at 3
People,
a.m., 4 a.m.
people around here are very freaked out. They get freaked out when I say I walk on 10th Street late at night. It's like it's the most well-lit street.
Right, it's well-lit. Yeah, as long as it's well-lit.
There's so many cars going by.
And there's cars going by.
There's police officers littered
across
and
10th Street.
Yeah, 10th Street especially. There's always a police officer right here across the street.
I swear to God, yeah, GTPD is just bored.
I know it because it wakes me up when their lights flash for no reason. It's just
Yeah,
they see their
worst
friends.
blinds in the world.
These blinds are also bad, yes.
That's why I woke up at 6:48 originally this morning because I turned in my sleep and the light woke me up. It might have actually been the light on in my.
But anyway, the point of this was Josh Pastner probably did the same thing today. He got up. Maybe he went on Reddit for an hour. Maybe he went back to sleep. Went to get lunch someplace.
Yeah,
someplace
but
small. It's kind of the same lifestyle.
Vaguely, except he got up instead of in a dorm shared with. With 3 rooms
Yes,
shared with 4
obviously
people.
I don't know where he lives.
So my dad, when I was a little kid, our family did not make much money. I mean, recession. Very few people our age were doing fine. We're doing fantastic. Phenomenal.
I was doing fantastic.
So both my parents had my older sister, obviously at the same time. It's my older sister. When they were 21, which is very young to have kids. Something I didn't realize until I was older. And it was like, oh wow, 21 is really young.
I'm 22. So
really, yeah.
And
your parents were doing well. Are you an only kid?
No, I'm oldest.
Really? What'd your dad do for you?
No, I'm 22.
Oh,
I'm not saying my parents.
I thought you said okay.
I'm saying it would be like if I had kids last year.
Having kids when you're 21 is tough. And so it.
Were they working at the time?
My dad was. My mom had to drop out of college, and wasn't able to go back to college until my parents got divorced. Because when you have 3 kids, you're busy. Your life stops focusing on you at all and becomes entirely focused on these little children that would no longer exist if you didn't constantly take care of them.
That's I'm pausing here. That's like a really nihilistic way to put that. They will no longer exist if you stop taking care of them. I've never heard childcare described that way. But that's interesting. Okay, yeah. We're going to keep going. Probably about another 10 minutes-ish, 8 minutes or so, and then we'll head out. And we'll move on to the third part of this, but okay, let's keep going.
So we weren't doing economically fine. We were lower middle class for the area we were in. But now that my older sister is out of college, I'm in college, but because of Zell Miller scholarship, it's not too expensive, and then it's just my little sister. And both my parents are making money. They're divorced, but still they're both making money. They have a lot more money to spend. And I still have that mindset of, 11-year-old me who's like, don't ask for special snacks at Kroger. And now my dad, who also...
We can only afford Kroger brand.
Right. And now my dad, who also grew up poor, has a lot more spending money. And so he'll buy like a walking desk for his house that he, which is on a treadmill, isn't that absurd of a purchase. It costs like $300. He gets a lot of work done there.
Okay.
And I'm astonished by it. So
is it good? Is it beneficial?
It is, because he's walking all day. And it's like silent.
Because standing can be bad. Like too much standing can be bad.
Right. And so, but it's just one of those things where like, I have a hard time understanding even just non-frivolous purchases. Just I have a ton in savings right now. The idea of buying a Switch, despite the fact it's like $300 and it's got some of my favorite games on it, it's still just a non-concept for me. Like, I'm not going to do it.
You wouldn't.
I have an income. Anyone else in my position would probably buy it. I'm not going to just because it feels so unfrivolous. And so then when you're making $1.8 million, I'm just like, I don't know what I would do with that.
Invest it.
Yeah, I'd invest it all, but for what? Because I'd never take it out of investments.
You would never use it. You can pass it down to
I'd buy my
Peter Jr.
Right. No, that's what but then I don't want my kids to be spoiled. Right? Like Gordon Ramsay does.
No, I'm not saying that. You keep it in investments. It's a series of passing down savings. So no one ever is using.
But then eventually, one of my lineage is going to be spoiled, and that's what I don't. But luckily, I'm going into public policy.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to make billions of dollars.
You have no issues with that.
I'm always going to be overworked.
You don't have to worry about having too much money. That's a pain.
Like right now, I'm working practically for less than minimum wage, and I'm happy with it.
Which is probably illegal, but it's.
Yeah, I think the way that they let me go early on some. I'm working for the state capital, so it's just really a weird mix.
Like unpaid internships are probably illegal.
They should be. Unpaid internships are stupid.
It's just slavery.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
Slavery had some other stipulations, like the
there's
ownership of people.
Yeah, there's no physical abuse or anything.
There's no physical abuse. There's no ownership. You can leave your internship.
Yes. Yeah.
You can leave your internship.
If you sign a contract to do an internship in London,
they can't sue you.
It'd be very difficult.
There's no way they can sue you.
It'd be very difficult. Yeah, I'm just saying it may be difficult for someone who doesn't have any money to. What are you gonna get a rowboat to come back?
Right, that's true. That is an accurate statement. It's tough, but it's still.
Pausing here. I appreciate Peter acknowledging I said one accurate statement ever. Okay, we're going to keep going because I forgot we have a lot more going. We have a lot more to do here. Yeah, probably a few more minutes, and then we're going to wrap up soon. But, yeah, I don't know. I still don't quite understand unpaid internships. Like, I feel like you should compensate the people somehow, But, okay, let's keep going.
Still not the punishment of death for living.
No, you're not.
Or whipping. But it is unpaid labor.
It's what, yeah.
And I don't... And there are some cases, so like the White House internship is an unpaid internship. And a lot of Capitol Hill internships are unpaid internships. And it's hard
Dick Cheney, so
to make the case that the opportunities there aren't worth the lack of pay.
Is it though? Do you have is it that beneficial?
Yes.
Because they've done studies where it's like people that do internships don't necessarily
for a lot of internships.
It depends on the field and it depends on
so like the political field is 98%. Well,
it's a lot of who
It's once you pass this threshold of competence. If you're incompetent and know a lot of people, you'll still get a job, but you won't be.
But I feel like you really need to form solid relationships.
Once you've hit this threshold, it does become this relationship-based work at it. And so working in the White House, you're going to see a lot of people. You're going to get close relationships with a lot of people.
It's literally just people in the White House.
Right.
So that's all it is.
And it gets you in. But at the same time, it not being paid, this is the same thing about part-time legislatures, it blocks low-class people from being able to get those opportunities. So Georgia, for example, we have a 40-day part-time legislature. They get paid about $17,000 for their time, I think, in the legislature. And they aren't able to do their normal jobs during the 3 months that they're in the legislature, which is great for the established lawyer that is able to take 4 months off because they own their own firm. It's great for the doctor who owns their own. It's great for the farmer who these 4 months nothing can grow, and they're able to hire some farmhands to run the farm for 4 months. It sucks for the middle class to labor positions where you need to have a job all year, or else you don't you don't survive.
It's not a cyclical thing. It's just
and so it cuts out these internships and these opportunities and these being able to be a politician to a large class of people. It's really awkward. Like I'm not going to be taking any White House internship, or if I was able to get one, just because I can't live in DC for 3 months with no pay. And DC is incredibly expensive to live.
You could live in Maryland or Virginia and drive an hour each day.
Yeah.
Do you have a car?
No, I don't like driving. I plan on never owning a car. It's too expensive.
So you have to live in a city. You can't live in a suburb.
I like public transportation.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you live in a suburb, it is just by design.
I'm from the suburbs. I know.
You have to have a car.
I'm from North Fulton, and a lot of people at the school are too, but I do not know anywhere around North Fulton because I never owned a car, so I knew about the 2-mile radius around my house.
That's 2 miles. That's a good. That's good.
I walk a lot. I'm a walking boy.
I know. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
We
everywhere.
talked about that.
I'm. Let's see. So I walk a lot. From
You walked to the airport.
job
from
to. No, I walked to Roswell from here.
I don't know how far that is.
It's I think 21 miles. So it's about a marathon. Yesterday I walked 9 miles and went 45 flights of stairs.
Okay.
Day before 8 miles, 38 flights of stairs, and so those are heavy days. I average, I think, last Friday I did 10 miles. Like just this month, I've averaged.
Yeah.
Or February I averaged 5.6. Last year I was averaging in October 7.2 miles a day. It's a lot of walking.
It is. I get a lot of hidden walking, just walking around campus and stuff.
No,
You don't
it
even
really
realize
does
it.
rack up.
Especially since it's
Pausing here. We're probably going to end there. I will say, yeah, I echo what I previously said. College campuses are a great way to increase your walking. Like, you just walk so much in college. I feel like, I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of college you go to and all that, but I got our medium-sized college at Georgia Tech. Walking, you walk everywhere. So I mean, I guess you could take the bus, but it was small. It was big enough where you got a good amount of walking, but not so big that you couldn't walk everywhere. Like end to end, it was probably a 20-minute walk maybe for the campus. So yeah, you can walk everywhere, but okay, that's not that much walking, but it adds up. If you're going back and forth all day, it really does add up, and it's a really nice. I don't know. It was nice. It was nice that we were able. I was able to do that. I appreciated that. Whereas other schools that are too big to walk or so small that you just kind of run into everyone all the time. But anyway, we're gonna end there. We're gonna come back next week for the final part. So thank you for listening.